Most people think Subway Surfers is just a harmless mobile game. That's wrong. There's a reason millions can't stop playing it, and it has nothing to do with fun. Subway Surfers has got to be one of the most played mobile games in history. I mean, look at how everyone uses it. Kids playing it while supposedly doing homework. TikTokers putting it at the bottom of their videos to keep your attention. That one friend who always has it running in the background. But this isn't just some random game created for our entertainment. There's one truth about Subway Surfers that changes everything, and when you learn it, you'll never look at that little running character the same way again. Today, we'll be looking at the real story behind Subway Surfers, because behind every game like this, there's a truth that most players will never know. And this one, it's darker than you think. So let's start with what everyone thinks they know. You're Jake, a young graffiti artist who got caught tagging a subway train. The grumpy inspector and his dog chase you and you run, and run, and run. Forever, actually. You dodge trains, you collect coins, you grab power-ups, you never stop. The colors are bright, the music is catchy, and before you know it, you've been playing for 20 minutes straight without even realizing it. But here's what nobody tells you. There's something deeply calculated about this game that most people never stop to think about. Why a subway? Why graffiti? And more importantly, why can't you ever stop running? There's no ending. There's no victory. There's just run until you crash, then run again. That design choice? Let me paint you a picture of what this game actually represents. Subway Surfers was created by a Danish company called SYBO Games, and they've always said they were inspired by street culture, by urban art, by the freedom and rebellion of youth. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's what they don't advertise on the App Store description. The game draws heavily from a real and deadly subculture. Now let me just pause here and paint you a clearer picture. This wasn't just some abstract inspiration. In cities around the world, particularly in Europe and South America, train surfing became a tragic phenomenon among young people seeking thrills. They'd climb onto the outside of moving trains, hold onto the roof or sides, and ride them through tunnels at deadly speeds. And the graffiti culture? That was intertwined with it. Artists would tag trains, sometimes while they were moving, risking everything for their art, for the rush, for the reputation. The game you're casually playing while watching YouTube videos? It's a sanitized, colorful recreation of something that actually killed people. That's the first layer. The second layer is even worse, and it's happening to you right now. I came across this discussion on the Subway Surfers subreddit where players were debating whether the game has dark undertones. Some users pointed out that Jake never escapes. He just runs forever until he inevitably crashes. One commenter wrote something that stuck with me. It felt like playing through an eternal punishment, like the game is stuck in a loop of consequence that never ends. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. The developers didn't just accidentally create an addictive game, they engineered a perfect psychological trap, and you need to hear how it works. Think about how Subway Surfers actually functions. You're constantly in near-miss situations. That train almost hits you, but doesn't. You almost crash into that barrier, but you swipe just in time. Your brain releases a little hit of dopamine with every close call, with every coin collected, with every successful dodge. The game uses variable reward scheduling, the same psychological mechanism that makes slot machines addictive in casinos. You never know when you'll get that high score, that rare item, that perfect run, so you keep playing. Just one more try, just one more run. They didn't just make a game, they made a perfect attention trap, and I can't. I literally cannot with how well engineered this is for maximum engagement. Every single element, from the bright colors that catch your eye to the simple swipe controls that make it playable while doing literally anything else, it's all designed to keep you hooked. But that's mistake number one people make about this game. The second mistake, it's what happened next, and it's affecting millions right now. Can you imagine? Every swipe, every jump, you think you're in control, but really you're just running on a treadmill that someone else built. A treadmill that was inspired by real people taking real risk that had real consequences. How it evolved from a mobile game into something much bigger and much stranger? There's actually no way this game became the go-to background video for everything by accident. And when I show you why, you'll realize how deep this actually goes. Somewhere along the line, the internet collectively decided that attention spans were dead, and we needed constant stimulation. Serious story time videos? Put Subway Surfers at the bottom. Reddit stories? Subway Surfers. Someone explaining quantum physics? You guessed it, Subway Surfers running underneath. At this point, I thought the story was complete. Then I realized something even more disturbing. This game about never escaping, about running forever, about one mistake ending everything, has become the background noise to our entire digital existence. Oh, the symbolism. The absolute beautiful poetic symbolism of turning tragedy and danger into an endless loop that millions play without thinking twice. We've taken something that represented real danger, real loss, real consequences, and turned it into the thing we use to distract ourselves from being bored for 3 seconds. I was just thinking Subway Surfers could totally be the modern equivalent of Muzak, that bland elevator music from the 20th century that was scientifically designed to be inoffensive and forgettable. Both keep you docile and occupied. If you had to choose, what would you rather watch? Actually engaging content that respects your attention, or Subway Surfers gameplay that treats you like you can't focus for more than 3 seconds? Be honest. Drop your answer in the comments. Now you know the real story. A game inspired by dangerous street culture and real tragedy becomes a global phenomenon. That phenomenon gets weaponized by the attention economy, and now millions of people use it daily without ever questioning why. And maybe that's the real story. Sometimes truth is hidden in plain sight, but sometimes the truth is running right in front of us on a subway track, and we're too distracted by the very thing we're trying to understand to actually notice it. Will people think differently about this game now, knowing what we know? Probably not. But now you know why Subway Surfers exists. You know why it's everywhere. And you know why your brain can't seem to let it go. I guess the internet doesn't always give us the content we deserve. But sometimes, just sometimes, it does give us exactly the distraction we asked for. And that, my friends, is the real story of Subway Surfers. Subscribe if you haven't, and cheerio.